Today I'm at Home Depot getting some supplies to make a full skate park, except shrunken down for tech decks and fingerboards. In the past I've used these handrails from Home Depot as grind rails. This time around though, I'm going to be using some raw steel and 3/16 round, perfect size. I'm going to use this for coping as well as some quickcrete concrete for a quarter pipe as well as some other obstacles. And of course I could not pass up the free samples of grass. For the surface of the skate park, I'm using a piece of wood that is 6.5 feet long by almost 2 feet wide. Currently I have some smaller obstacles as well as a few DIY wooden obstacles that I made on the channel in the past. In this video I want to add some larger obstacles as well as some more permanent and using some realistic materials with the concrete. And since the concrete has a limited time to work with it, I am going to plan out and kind of draw everything out beforehand using my iPad in the app Procreate. And I'm just going to draw on top of the picture of the actual park. On a separate layer in the corner, I want to add a quarter bowl / quarter pipe. And I'm going to draw everything out and sketch it out just to get the general shape and idea of how tall it's going to sit. This is also going to help me figure out how much concrete to mix up. And initially I was going to do it directly on the flat surface, but I decided to add another layer or another piece of wood for a platform. Do it on top of that, and this piece of wood is a little bit longer, so I decided to make the right hand side a little bit longer and slope down. And on the left hand side I decided to add a little bit thicker ledge, make it so I could do tricks up on the backside. And on the right hand side, initially I thought it'd be kind of cool to have more of like a roller coaster up and down with the double humps, but it being my first time doing concrete and with the coping that I want to add in here, I decided to make it a little bit simpler, and I ended up flattening this out. With the top of the obstacle planned and drawn out, I'm going to go ahead and add back in the base, which is going to be a wooden shelf. I found this old wooden shelf that was just laying around, and I decided I was going to go ahead and upcycle it, using this for the base of the ramp. And it is a little bit more narrow than the one that I initially had planned for, as well as a little bit longer, but I went ahead and tested it out and it's going to work just fine. And to start with the actual ramp, I am going to go ahead and start the base of it using this dry foam. This is going to save a lot of weight, and I got this from Michael's Arts and Crafts supply store for around $3 for the whole pack. When cutting into this stuff, I definitely recommend wearing a dust or particle mask, as well as not touching your eyes, and if you can, wear glasses or goggles, just because these little particles that kind of stick to everything, if you rub your eyes, it hurts super bad. It's almost like plastic glass. This foam is also not the easiest to cut through, and I just found that going slow and not forcing the knife too hard and just taking my time got some clean cuts. And for the most part, I'm not trying to get exactly the size or shape of the ramp. I just want to get the general shape, just to save a lot of weight and extra concrete. Since the wood base is a little bit longer than I initially planned for, instead of making the actual quarter pipe go further down on the ramp, I'm going to actually still stop it kind of earlier on and have it transition, go from the coping into a grind rail. I'm just going to cut off this last piece and shape the right hand side down. And with the foam shaped and in place, I'm going to go ahead and cut out some wire mesh. It's going to go on top of the foam. And this is what's going to give the concrete some extra strength, especially with the fact that I'm going to go a little bit thinner with the concrete rather than just doing solid concrete. And hopefully should make it so nothing cracks while still being strong and keeping the light weight. With the metal mesh laid out on the foam and in place, all there's left to do is mix the concrete and pour it on top. And with the concrete, it's important to mix this stuff outside. Proper ventilation, and also I'm wearing a dust mask as well as some safety glasses. And for mixing this, I'm also going to be wearing some gloves. And the concrete, when it is wet, if you do get it on your skin, it's important to get it off as soon as possible, as it can cause a pretty bad rash, especially if you let it dry. The best ratio that I found for this concrete is about 1 scoop of water to 2.5 to 3 scoops of concrete mix. And the less amount of water that you use, the stronger the concrete will be once it dries. And mixing the stuff as slow as possible. Don't want to mix it up, and definitely don't want to breathe the concrete when it's in the air. And with the concrete properly mixed, it should be somewhat of the consistency of a thick oatmeal. Definitely don't want it to be soupy at all. And this mixture is really nice. It's just wet enough to get it in between all the little different crevices. But overall, it stays in place. And I'm just adding it from the bottom up a little bit at a time and pressing it into the wire mesh. And I'm coming back with a spoon and kind of pressing it into the shape of the ramp. And I did place the coping into the concrete just to kind of match the angle and shape of the coping. And at this point, I was starting to get a little bit nervous as the concrete started to actually harden. But I did find as it got a little bit harder and started to cure, it was a little bit easier to smooth out any of the smaller bumps. And I did take the coping out as the concrete cured. This was the next day. And cutting down the coping, I'm going to go ahead and use the extra coping for another obstacle that I'm going to use in the park. But for the coping that's going to go on this quarter bowl ramp, I want to go ahead and add another piece of concrete that is going to hold it in place. And I'm using this toilet paper roll as a mold. Just going to cut out this corner piece where it's going to sit on the edge here. And I cut it down a little bit, as well as I'm going to drill a hole. And I'm actually going to add a screw in here so that once the concrete does cure, it should hopefully hold everything in place down to the base and the coping piece as well. I'm going to add the second ledge on the back here and dampen everything down with a wet sponge. And hopefully the concrete sticks to the concrete that's already cured. But I'm going to try and get everything nice and moist and press it all down. And I'm using some more mesh wire as well as a piece of wood to support everything. And I'm going to build up the concrete. And as it dries a little bit and cures, I'm going to shape it into more of a squared off ledge. And with the ledge for the most part level, I went ahead and added on some tile. And this will also be my first time doing some tile work. I was lucky enough to find some tiles that were pretty much the same width as the obstacle. And I just placed them and got them as straight as possible. And I'm going to add a little bit more concrete in between the tiles to use for grout and keep everything in place. And using a sponge to clean everything off. Overall, definitely not perfect, but it looks pretty clean. And I'm going to fill up this toilet paper kind of mold with concrete. And I definitely used some concrete that was a little bit too soupy. And this definitely leads to it breaking down the line. I did peel it off early, but I'll go ahead and fix that later once it does dry. And overall, I'm already really liking how this looks. I'm going to go ahead and move on to some of the smaller concrete pieces that I'm going to make out of some plastic containers that I'm going to use as molds. With the concrete in the molds, I'm making sure to shake out any of the bubbles. And this is super important to make sure that the concrete will be strong when it does cure, as well as get rid of any of the bubbles in the actual concrete. And I'm also using the mold from an actual tech deck. I'm not really sure what I'm going to use this for, but I figured it'd just be a cool thing to try and make a mold out of. And this is actually from the Tech Deck BMX bike. I'm going to use this mold to make a little pole jam, but I thought the mold itself was kind of cool with the bike chain. keychain in the actual edge of the mold. And this was from a big pack of tech decks that I made into a kind of mold. It's going to be like an up and down roller coaster that I initially wanted to be part of the quarter pipe quarter bowl, but I ended up making it its own separate obstacle. And this was definitely one of the hardest to kind of smooth out, so I'm glad that I made it its own separate piece. And then I made this little tray that I'm going to turn into a little platform bump up. And this last mold, I'm just going to use the corner. And this is going to be a banked wedge. And for this piece, since it's going to be a little bit larger, I am going to use another piece of the dry foam just to save on weight. Fill everything in with concrete on the edges. Fast forward about 2 weeks and the concrete has had plenty of time to dry. I'm going to go ahead and clear coat it to go ahead and seal the concrete in. And the quarter pipe quarter bowl, I did have a little bit of an accident when I was moving it for the last time to clear coat it. And I picked it by the top part of it rather than the base, and it separated a little bit, causing it to crack, which I will fix afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and get all this stuff sealed with at least a couple coats. And the clear coat, it seemed like, went down pretty good, although it did soak in, and on all of the concrete took at least 2 to 3 coats. And overall, I really like how this looks. It is a little bit shiny, and I'm going to go ahead and try a different paint for the rest of the obstacles, this satin clear enamel, which is more of a semi-gloss. And spraying it, I noticed that it just took a bit more of the actual spray to go down and stay looking like it was clear coated. So I went ahead and went a little bit heavy with this paint, but overall it looks really nice once it did dry, and it comes out really nice and even. As you can see here, in between coats it dries and it looks like there's nothing on it. And I'm going to go until it looks like there's a good coat. I ended up fixing the quarter pipe quarter bowl off screen. I just used some concrete glue and I mixed it with some fresh concrete and put it in all of the little cracks and crevices that I needed to fill. And then put down another coat of clear coat. And I just went ahead and vacuumed everything up to make sure it was all clean. And the last thing I'm going to do to get the area ready is I'm going to hang some skateboard art on the wall. I have a handful of boards that I've done custom paintings on, and I decided to go with the exploded cheeseburger, sticky frog on a skateboard. And to keep the area clean, I decided to go with just 3 boards. And for the last board, to keep the food theme going, I decided to go with the watermelon kind of sliced board. To hang the boards up, I'm using a fuzzy metal pipe cleaner. It's like an arts and craft pipe cleaner. And I tried to match the color as best as possible. I really like how the full-size skateboards look on the wall. But in the near future, I want to also figure out a way to hang up some miniature finger skateboards on the wall as well. And with just the one obstacle in place, there is plenty of room to do some flat ground tricks. So before I put on any of the other obstacles on the table, I'm going to go and do some flat ground tricks. And sometimes it is just nice to have a big open flat area to do some tricks on. At first I was not 100% sure how I was going to like having the obstacle on the raised ledge, but after using it for a little while I actually really like that there's a raised ledge and it almost forces another trick going in or out of the quarter pipe quarter bowl. I also really like how the coping into the grind rail came out, and it makes it for doing some tricks off of the ledge and just a little bit more variety with the grind rail being there. With the clear coat dry, the banked wedge came out really nice, smooth and shiny. Also, the bump up riser pad did as well. And this was one of the pieces that I used, the satin, which came out a little bit not as shiny, but really nice kind of smooth feel to it. And these were also the ones that I used the satin clear coat on. And I actually did a second batch of these, but unfortunately the concrete that I used was too soupy and it ended up cracking during the curing process. But for the most part, all of these came out really nice. This was the tech deck, which I'm still not really sure what I'm gonna do. Maybe do some slappies on it and just have it as a little curb piece. Here is the pole jam. And this is a piece from Anxiety Offline. It is the half barrier, You can get it from anxietyoffline.com. And I got these as well from Anxiety Offline. Got the parking curb and the ledge. And last but definitely not least, the red painted concrete target ball. All of the concrete from Anxiety Offline is super high quality, so if you're looking for some concrete obstacles, definitely check them out. And I'm just going to use these obstacles for now to fill in all the empty spots in the park. I found that this banked kind of wedge piece was really nice right here in the corner next to the quarter pipe quarter ramp. And eventually I do want to get another kind of larger quarter pipe to go at the end here. But for now, I'm going to just use this. And I went ahead and put down the pole jam as well as one of these little kickers here at the edge of the obstacle. And it makes it a little bit easier to go in and out of tricks on the larger obstacle piece. A small concrete pad and the yellow painted parking curb fit nicely in this area. And I like the smooth concrete pad as well as the curb to do some grinds in and out of the banked wedge area. In the near future, I want to build another larger obstacle for this side of the park. I'm thinking of doing either a staircase or maybe a quarter pipe. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments down below. But for now, I'm just going to fill in this side of the park with the rest of the obstacles. And I actually really like having smaller obstacles that I can still move around, but I like that they're concrete and they do stay in place for the most part. I'll list all the supplies that I used in the video description down below, but the cost for all of the supplies was under $30. And it was a pretty low budget build, but it did take a good amount of time as well as learning how to use the concrete and pour it all. But overall, I'm really happy with the results. That about wraps up part 1 of my miniature DIY concrete fingerboard skateboard park. And I definitely plan on adding more to this in the future, as well as some more artwork. So stay tuned and make sure to check out some of the other videos on the channel. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, as well as subscribe and turn on notifications for when I post my newest videos. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.